What's up, guys? It's Keefe. In today's video, I'm going over why you must do nofap if you want to be successful. And be sure to stick around on the end, because on the other side of the board, I've got 4 big benefits you can expect to receive once you get on nofap. Now, before we get into the video, I made this channel to build better men. So if you're a guy who's out there who's looking to improve his life in any way, hit the subscribe button and bell icon. I put out new videos every single day to help you become your best version. So let's get into the video, why you must do nofap. Now, obviously, not every successful person ever has done nofap. So why do I say you must do nofap? Well, I want to draw a big distinction between being in your 20s and younger versus the older crowd, right? Like, I think Kevin Hart's in his 40s now, maybe, and I heard him telling some joke about jerking off, right? And so the difference here is, in your 20s and younger, we grew up with internet porn. And why this is an issue is the first thing I want to get into. Back in the day, when we lived in tribes, when we were prehistoric, when there was a different kind of society, right? In order to get the girl, you had to be what? You had to be a man. And what I mean by being a man isn't you turn 18 or your balls drop or something. I'm talking about a psychological transformation into a man. They had rites of passage that men had to go through to be welcomed into the tribe as a man. And before then, they weren't having kids, right? You had to go through this process so that you could have your woman, so that you could have children and do all these different things. And the thing was, if you didn't pass the rite of passage, you didn't come back to the tribe, right? These were honestly very intense trials. This was not some everybody gets a trophy type of deal, right? It was a legitimate challenge you had to overcome back in the day. And again, in order to get the girl, you had to be a man. So what is it about being in your 20s and younger, having this pornography at a young age, that has really screwed this up? Is that you're showing your brain that you're getting these women, you're getting this abundance of women, this is what your brain's thinking, without having to go through the trials, without having to become a man, okay? And why this is such a big deal is that the thing that drives male development is what? Is female approval. We'll say approval, attraction, you can call it what you want. Okay, but it's always the story. You see this in stories every single time. The dude's usually kind of a fuck up, maybe. The girl, he likes the girl, she kind of likes him, but she's like, you got to get your shit together before I'll like you. This happens in all kinds of movies. It's like The Lion King, for example. Like, what's her name? Nala. Nala doesn't like Simba until Simba decides to be a man, go back to the kingdom and take over the kingdom. Before then, she's kind of disappointed in him because he's acting like a boy, and that kind of is the thing that shocks him out of his hanging out with the baboon or whatever he was hanging out with and doing nothing with his life, was the woman expecting more of him. Okay, so you're robbing yourself of this if you're robbing yourself of your manhood, becoming that man, if you use porn before you've developed psychologically. And the thing about our culture is it's a more mental culture. Back then it was a more physical, visceral culture. Today it's about mental things. You got to be more intellectual. You got to be able to handle lots of problem solving, different things. So our maturation process has lengthened, okay? But it doesn't change the fact that the thing that drives you to become a man in the world and to take your place as a mature masculine man is the approval of women. And you're robbing yourself of this if you do porn. So again, what does this have to do with nofap? You are robbing yourself of your own ability to mature and develop because you're fooling your brain into thinking you don't need to because you've already got the girls, okay? So what happens when you go nofap? Here are 4 big benefits. There's all kinds of different benefits, but these are the ones I really wanted to cover in this video. First one is increased sex drive, right? Because you're not telling your brain you're getting all this sex all the time. So what's going to happen is you're going to get more things done, because the sex drive drives us to get things done, right? That libido, we want to reproduce. It's our driving factor, right? So if you're not telling your brain you're reproducing all the time, that drive to get more stuff done starts to kick in, right? Now, this isn't going to happen magically. Some guys, they drive me nuts. So like, nofap's not working for me. It's like, well, if you're sitting in your bed not trying anything, obviously it's not going to work. It's not going to come to you. The point is, stop doing the bad thing and use that energy, use that focus, and use that drive to become something in the world, okay? Along with this, you're going to get more physical attraction from women because you got the things done. You became the man, right? You became the man that the girl wants. Basically, you can think of it, you became Simba after he went back to Pride Rock and kicked Scar's ass. And before then, when you were fapping off all the time, you were hanging out with the baboon in the woods, pretty much, okay? The second major benefit is creativity. This is one that I don't think gets talked about much, and I want to discuss this from a psychological perspective. Sigmund Freud, he thought all roads led to sex, okay? He lived in a very sexually repressed time, and so he experienced a lot of people, his patients were very sexually repressed. So this was the theory he formed. He has a very reductionist theory. It is very accurate, though, I believe. The idea being that everything came down to sex. We want to beautify ourselves to be sexually appealing. We want to achieve things to be sexually appealing. We want status for sex appeal, right? Everything led back to sex. His contemporary Carl Jung had a similar idea, but kind of a grander idea, and I think it's a little more accurate. Jung's idea was that the energy could be transmuted, that libido, that this sexual energy that does, as Freud would also agree, cause you to go out and do these great things and create these great things, it can be transmuted into a greater force, right? So the creative energy that an artist harnesses to create great music, or that an entrepreneur harnesses to create a business, is the same creative force that creates babies. It's just being used differently. This is where the idea of the sexual transmutation comes in, and this is why guys who don't get results with nofap, it's because they don't have an outlet for this energy. This energy has to be used. If you don't use it, then you're just going to be sexually repressed, you're going to feel stifled, and you're going to talk about how this doesn't work. You need an outlet for it. It doesn't have to be being a violinist or some shit, but it just has to be an outlet where you are creating, where you're building something, okay? And I'm not also saying it has to be some new product. It could be creating, being a real estate agent. I always use that as an example because I used to be a real estate agent. Maybe you're a new real estate agent. You're creating your real estate business, something like that. It doesn't have to, you don't have to reinvent the wheel with this. You just need an outlet for the energy. You will have the energy though if you're not wasting it. They always say like really creative people have high testosterone. It's kind of like a thing that goes along with it. They have high libido, high sex drive. It's actually kind of a known thing. Third one I got on here is being more masculine. Your testosterone level is going to rise because you're not jacking it off all the time. You're not wasting the energy. It's actually scientifically shown after 7 days, your testosterone level spikes when you get on nofap, when you stop masturbating, when you just stop sexual practice in general. You're going to be more grounded, okay? This just is something that comes, you get out of your head so much. You're not on the phone screen, and it's kind of hard to explain, but you just will feel more grounded in your body, more present with it. And I think it's just because you've got the energy in there. You haven't been spilling it out. Third one, higher confidence. You're just going to feel more confidence because you're not doing something that you're ashamed of. You wouldn't be watching this video if you weren't on some level ashamed of watching porn or masturbating, okay? Increased ambition, which also goes along with the other two on here. Because you're not showing your brain that you have plenty of sexual options, your brain is now forced to take actions to get you those sexual options. So suddenly you got more ambition, more energy. You're going to be more motivated to hit the gym. You're going to be more motivated to work longer hours. Fourth one, physical improvement. This is going to rewire your brain because you're going to stop using a phone screen for sexual pleasure. What you've trained your brain to think of is sexual experience through this state where it's very detached, where it's very mental. There's no physical connected experience. It's a completely different phenomenon you have trained your brain on, especially if you've been doing this since you were young. It's going to solve ED. I believe the number is now that over a third of guys in their 20s and below have experienced erectile dysfunction. That's absurd, right? Like, this is a biological function that should not be happening unless we've broken it somehow. You're going to show, it's been shown scientifically that you have a better pair bond with your real life partner if you don't watch porn. And the reason for this is multiple levels, right? You're not in a way cheating on them, first of all. You don't have this, or if you did it before you got into the relationship, you don't have this preconceived notion of how it's supposed to be as this very like not realistic thing that you're watching on a porn website. And also, again, the experience is more, it's deeper than screen deep. And so if you're trained for a screen relationship with somebody, it just doesn't work right. So to me, these are 4 no-brainer benefits. I mean, if you like porn better than you like having high sex drive and accomplishing things and being attractive to real women, and you like it more than having creative energy and feeling like a man and having a dick that actually works, then you're a different kind of guy than me. Not trying to say that to not have empathy for the fact that it is a challenge to get off porn, but it is, or just stop masturbation because somebody got mad at me. Porn and masturbation aren't the same thing. So I want to clarify, it's all of it, right? Just stopping masturbation. But I say that to say, make the choice, commit to doing this, get the benefits, become the man like your tribal ancestors, become the man who is worthy of the woman. You'll get all the benefits of life when you do this. Guys, my Better Man coaching program still has a few spots available. If you'd like to schedule a one-on-one consultation with me, you can do so in the description box below. I'm looking to work with guys who are ambitious, who are serious about getting their entire lives oriented in the right direction, having purpose, focus, getting the external results of a high-value man, and feeling like him internally. If that sounds like you, if that's something you're interested in, again, schedule a consultation in the description box below. We'll talk about it on the call and find out if it's a good fit for you. Guys, if you got something out of this video, give me a like so I can reach more guys through the algorithm. Hit the bell icon and subscribe button so you don't miss new videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.